I don't know if anybody can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me. But here are 7 signs you are in love with someone who is slowly destroying you. Sometimes the person destroying your peace is the same person that you are praying will give you peace. And that's the scary part about being in love. Because when you really love someone, you can start making excuses for things you would normally tell your friends to run away from. You start saying maybe they are just stressed, maybe they are just going through something, maybe things will get better. And before you realize it, you are no longer enjoying the relationship, you are surviving it. So today, let's talk about 7 signs that you may be in love with someone who is slowly destroying you. And please don't listen to this video thinking about somebody else. Think about your own relationship. Number 1, you are always anxious around them. One of the first signs is you are consistently worried about how your partner is going to react. You want to say something, but you are thinking, will this make them angry? You want to ask a simple question, but you are already preparing yourself for an argument. You make a mistake and immediately start panicking. You don't feel like you can be yourself because you are consistently trying to avoid the bad behavior. Please don't mind my voice. That is not peace, and I'm not saying that every relationship will be perfect. People will disagree, people will get angry. But if you are consistently working on eggshells because you are afraid of the person you are supposed to feel safe with, love shouldn't make you feel like you are living in a house full of landmines. I don't know if this pronunciation is correct, but that's by the way. And number 2 is you keep losing yourself to keep the relationship. This one is really serious. You stop doing the things you enjoy. You stop seeing certain people. You stop expressing your opinion. You start changing your personality because you are trying so hard to keep your partner happy. And slowly, you don't even recognize yourself anymore. You used to be confident, you used to have plans, you used to laugh, but now everything revolves around keeping this person. And the question is, what exactly are you keeping if you have to lose yourself to keep it? I don't know if I'm making sense. Because a relationship that requires you to completely disappear is not a healthy relationship. Trust me. Number 3, you are always the one apologizing. Why? Have you noticed somehow every argument ends with you apologizing? Even when your partner hurts you, you end up apologizing. Even when they insult you, you apologized just because you reacted. Even when they were clearly wrong, you somehow become the problem. And after a while, you start questioning yourself. Maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe I'm difficult. Maybe I'm the problem. Be careful. Because there is difference between taking accountability and being made responsible for everything that goes wrong in a relationship. A healthy relationship should have 2 people who can say I was wrong, not one person apologizing while the other person never takes responsibility. Number 4, you are consistently begging for the bare minimum. You shouldn't have to beg your partner to communicate with you, right? You shouldn't have to beg someone to respect you. You shouldn't have to beg someone to keep their promises. You shouldn't have to beg someone to show you affection. And before somebody says nobody's perfect, yes, nobody's perfect, but basic consideration is not perfections. There is difference between expecting someone to be perfect and expecting someone to treat you with basic respect. See, if you are consistently begging for things that should naturally exist in a healthy relationship, eventually you are going to become emotionally exhausted. And that's when you need to stop asking, how do I make this person to love me better? And start asking, why am I accepting little? And number 5, you are happier when they are not around. This one can hurt, but be honest with yourself. When they are away, do you feel relieved? When they are not calling, do you feel peaceful? When you are alone, do you feel more like yourself? And then when they are around, the anxiety returns. That is something you shouldn't, because your body can sometimes tell you what your heart is refusing to accept. You may keep saying, but I love them, and you may really do, but loving someone doesn't automatically mean that being with them is good for you. You can love someone and still recognize that the relationship is hurting you. And number 6, you keep waiting for the person they promise to become. This is where many people get stuck. You are not necessarily in love with who they are anymore. You are in love with who you believe they can become. When they get a better job, when they become more mature, when we get married, when they stop cheating, when they learn how to communicate, when things get better. But how long are you going to live inside the word when? You cannot build a relationship with someone's potential. You have to look at who they are right now. Because sometimes we are not waiting for the person to change. We are waiting for reality to finally matches the version of them we have created in our heads. And that can keep you stuck for years. Number 7, you are consistently trying to convince yourself that you are happy. This might be the biggest sign. You keep telling everybody we are good. They are actually a good person. They love me. Every relationship has problem, and maybe all of those are true. But when you are alone, you are not okay. You cry privately, you overthink privately. You feel lonely while you are still in the relationship. And sometimes you don't leave because you don't know what life would look like without the person. You stay not because you are happy, but because you are scared of starting over. And honestly, starting over can be painful, but staying somewhere that is slowly destroying your confidence, your peace, and your happiness can even be more painful. So, my take, let me say something very important. I'm not telling you should leave your relationship because you had one bad argument. No. I'm not telling you to throw away something good because your partner made a mistake. Relationship requires communication, patience, forgiveness, and growth. But there is difference between a relationship going through a difficult season and a relationship consistently damaging you. See, don't confuse occasional problems with a pattern. And don't keep calling something love simply because you have invested so much time into it. Sometimes we stay because we think, I've already spent 5 years here, I've sacrificed so much, What will people say if I leave? But those 5 years are already gone. You don't have to sacrifice the next 5 years just because you sacrificed the first 5 years. Final lesson. If you have to consistently abandon yourself to keep someone, eventually you are going to lose the person you were trying so hard to protect. Yourself. Love should challenge you sometimes. Love should require compromise. But love should not require you to completely disappear. So ask yourself tonight, am I genuinely happy in this relationship, or am I simply afraid to leave it? Be honest with yourself, because sometimes the hardest truth is also the truth that finally sets you free. And if this video spoke to you, don't just watch it and scroll away. Sit with it, think about your relationship, and ask yourself what your heart has been trying to tell you. I will see you in the next video. Bye. Thanks for watching.